Jinx is like first pick worthy. I could have seen if you wanted to first pick a jungler like Lee Sin with those two banned. I could have seen Senna as something that was banned in game 1 that's left open. But no, TT opted to go for the Jinx, interestingly enough. We'll see if BLG respond with a handshake that is Aphelios or go in a different direction. That Senna is available. But they're actually going to take Gnar this early.
Priority.
And I get it because Hoya is like a Gnar player, very much true. So denying away from him has value. Being obviously confident on it. And it was very good post-durability changes. But it does give lots of opportunity for TT to respond here. We'll see what BLG go with his second pick. And looking towards the support role. Taking the Nautilus here essentially locks you out of the center. Because Nautilus center just isn't really a lane we see.
Yeah.
So it looks like they are going to take that.
Some very hard decision making maybe for BLG. But it is the Nautilus that gets locked in. So Crisp will have the onus for engage for BLG.
Yep, got that single target lockdown on point. Obviously pairs well with the range of 80 carries. Now we're gonna see what TT do. Sylas, honestly, you have two good old choices already if he wants to bring it out. I feel like it's pretty good here overall. We talked extensively about how Sylas stealing Gnarl is one of the best in the game. And Ucal will lock that one in.
I really like this as well because you're getting a lot of the mobility out of mid lane, meaning a lot in this series so far. And when we did get the Sylas in game 1, at least from Icon, didn't have necessarily the brightest of points. But here for Ucal, getting the opportunity to maybe make the history a little bit different for the Sylas in this series. And especially leaving a lot of things open for TT still. In terms of now they get the Lee Sin, so maybe not as much, but at least they'll have the Lee Sin there for Beichuan, which I think in its own right, as a proactive pick, is huge for TT to get into this game.
They have a strong skirmishing mid-jungle already. They have a scaling bot laner. You know, TT have the tools set up to make things happen. My question is what BLG are going to decide to prioritize here. Looks like they might just go for the handshake of the Aphelios. How lame. To be real. Oh, no, yeah! Let's go. This is more like it. No more handshaking. No more agreement. Okay, let's play Aphelios Jinx. No. Doggo comes out with the Kaisa. Big chat energy pairing up with the Nautilus. That's what I want to see.
And now, I guess the biggest thing lies in where we see the big focus in phase 2 bans, especially looking at BLG here on the table, because they obviously still have a lot left to decide on, but they want to get a good setup for Crisp and Doggo at this point, and they ban away the Tom Kench. The response from TT is the Nocturne.
Yeah, maybe like Tom Braum could be good bans if you focus on them both towards support. Braum, you know, you have not the greatest engage, but you have dive threat from the Lee Sin and the Sylas, plus BLG's comp is more dive focused, so if you were to go for something like the Braum, could obviously do well into the Nautilus and defend against the Kaisa when she dives in, but it's actually going for the Rakan. A bit more concerned about that one, interestingly enough. Now, TT focusing on that jungle pool. Could see a Graves maybe come out. Definitely something WeiWei has lent on so far. But obviously, Nocturne was the big priority with how well it would just sync with BLG's dive composition.
I also like the, continue to engage support focus from BLG. Poppy, actually the ban from TT. So going out on a limb, just saying, hey, don't want to even give this a chance to be in here, especially while we have the Sylas and the Lee Sin. And now it's up to BLG to extend a little bit on that jungle pool here for themselves and find something that I feel like still needs to be proactive, still can skirmish, because that's where we've seen both these junglers really shine.
Ooh, Taliyah would actually be so big brain here because it's a flex, right? It can go mid or jungle. BLG they've revealed nothing with this. You don't know where it's going to be. It's good in Lee Sin and Sylas because they both have dashes. Kind of similar reason why Poppy was banned. Poppy is good against dashes, so is Taliyah. And now TT, they need an answer to the Gnar. Could well just be the GP again that we've seen so far this series. And they need a mid lane pick that is potentially blind. Sorry, they already have Sylas. So, this could actually be, if they're looking towards mid laners, this could be a Sylas top.
Could be, and change it up a little bit. They do. It's the Azir that comes through for Ucal. So both teams playing some mind games.
I'm gonna reveal this could be Azir top or Sylas top. You don't actually know. It genuinely could be. We've seen. I can't remember. There was a region who played Azir top recently into GP. Into Gnar, you just be able to harass him in mini Gnar. If he goes in you on Mega, you ult him away. I think the laning phase is better for Azir in the top lane, I'm going to be honest. But I have also seen Sylas into Gnar specifically because you can kind of manage him in lane. And then you could steal his ult, which is fantastic. So, I guess we'll see what happens. A lot of flexes potentially coming out here. over the side of BLG, they either need to lock in a jungler or a mid laner, looking like they're going towards the mid Taliyah, with the fact that they're hovering Trundle, hovering Xin Zhao.
Yeah, they've been really thinking about these 2 picks, and it's going to be the Trundle that actually comes through.
Yeah, so Trundle, pretty decent into the likes of Alistar, into the likes of Jinx, being able to pillar them, and then they're kind of essentially trapped. The other 3 have dashes and kind of, get away from the pillar. But we will, I'm going to say we'll have the information on where the lanes will go. We'll know who's playing the champions. They could still swap them, Often see, like, let's say Ucal's the better Azir. They could put Ucal in the top lane on Azir and then have the Sylas in the mid lane. I think, though, this arrangement could be where we see it, because I think Azir has a fine time contesting Prio into the Taliyah. Sylas wouldn't really enjoy playing into Taliyah, just because the Unraveled Earth makes it a bit painful. But, it could change. It could go either way. They could want to prioritize a strong laning phase in the top lane, which would be Azir top. So yeah, we'll see where all these funky flexes end up panning out. But definitely an interesting draft coming to compared to the previous 2, which I'd say were a bit tame.
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting part for me is it's still an absolute huge focus on Beichuan and WeiWei, but it's an interesting one because we have such differing lanes this time. It feels like everybody's bringing out a little bit of all the stops here for 4th of July and our first series, and especially looking towards these junglers.
You know what, Mazel?
We've known how much the skirmishing has been important here.
You know what, Mazel?
What?
You're an American dude, and obviously 4th of July, a big deal to you. But to me, it's just another day of the LPL.
But it's fireworks. What are you talking about? Come on. Fireworks happen all the time.
I don't get fireworks over here.
You don't get fireworks all the time? I have to listen to it for the entire next 24 hours, every minute of my life. I have to kind of spread the love, right?
I don't. I'm the UK. We get fireworks on bonfire night and randomly, sporadically throughout the year.
All right. Well, this is a sporadic night. Maybe make it a bonfire night because it's TT versus BLG, and we got some fun to have as both teams need to leave everything on the rift, right? We came into this series talking about who's going to show up, who will step up for both these teams as we crest into the second half of the split. And here we are.
I'm gonna be real with you. If I'm gonna have a sporadic bonfire night to celebrate, it's gonna be on Saturday for Top Esports RNG when I'm casting. Probably not for TTVL.
Come on, give me a little bit of a limb to work with here. Come on, man. Come on. Can't just leave me out hanging. I got all puppy dog eyes over here. Come on.
You know what, Mazel? I can and I will. Yeah, and that's just how it is.
What's your favorite firework?
My favorite firework?
Yeah. You know, like all the different kinds of fireworks? Don't be lame and say like the big artillery shells, because that's just lame. You got to come up with something cool.
You know the ones that like go up and they make like a soft like, and then like it like rains down like a willow tree. I'm kind of fond of them, man. Those are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know the specific name. I'm not expert in fireworks.
No idea. I know it lights up and I go, ooh.
That was a good one.
It was. Mine.
But it's almost like there's fireworks happening right now.
True. I hear literally. I'm not joking. Constantly, for the next day, I will hear fireworks outside my house. But it's okay. It's okay because we don't need to listen to that here. And I will say just quick, my favorite is like the little like vehicles that turn into fireworks. You know, like little fountains and stuff. They're kind of cool.
There's some really unique ones.
Yeah, have you not ever seen like the little fireworks that have like spouts on them that you can light and they like they can like drive, they like drive themselves sometimes? Or,
no, what the heck?
What? You've never? Oh my god! Ooh, flash from Kepler though. That's an early cooldown on bottom lane.
That's like some Transformer stuff going on there, dude.
Wait,
that sounds sick.
Man, UK, you gotta catch up. You gotta catch up. We got the firework tech over here. You never seen the tech that we have, Aux.
Man, no wonder you're hyped about the fireworks. Actually,
yeah, ain't no bonfire night.
Yeah, we just erect a big effigy to this guy who tried to destroy Parliament called Guy Fawkes, and then we burn it, and that's kind of the vibe, you know.
In Texas, we just used to burn stuff all the time. We just have bonfires like every week. So I know how you feel. I know how. Yeah, yours is spontaneous, but mine was a part of life. And bonfires are a wonderful thing. This is not a bonfire, though. This is a game of League of Legends, and we have had.
Could you say it's a barn burner, though?
Not yet. Not yet. We'll see if I can utilize that later. We'll see if it's barred off at this point. But checking back in on the game state, checking back in on these junglers. This is a time where I feel like we're getting a little bit of difference in terms of the pathing aspect of it. We have seen a little bit of aggression come out in early pathings, looking for early invades, but this time around, I think both junglers taking the third game a bit more reserved.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the thing with how this matchup's going to go is that if WeiWei finds Beichuan, Beichuan will dash away. If Beichuan finds WeiWei, he won't go in because you don't want to get in the melee range of a Trundle. It's just how it is. So both junglers probably going to avoid each other, maybe look for a bit more ganks. We will see WeiWei come down and shadow his bot lane as they look to crash this lane. And as we saw earlier, Kepler's flash was burnt, which is obviously a nice start for the side of TT. Beichuan doing some info hunting there. Gets the ward down on the Raptors. Little scrying orb onto the Krugs. And we'll also see how the lanes have developed. So I thought it was probably going to be Azir in the mid lane just because it's a good matchup from Taliyah. And Hoya so far in the top lane actually doing pretty good on this Sylas, you know. And he is going to very much enjoy being in a lane up against a Gnar. If Gnar ever jumps into him, you can just slam the Gnar against the wall. In the extended trade, the healing from the Sylas can really come out strong. And obviously, it'll be a while before Bin actually gets any magic resistance picked up.
I can expect a little bit of volatility up in that top lane, especially with the Sylas up there this time around. But have to keep that check-in until later on. I think it's interesting, though. We were talking about a little bit of reservedness earlier from the junglers. Beichuan, I mean, we saw a huge push by Bin, but realizing that WeiWei would probably be resetting and be up towards the top lane to respond, doesn't go for that one. Now, we have objective on the Rift in terms of a dragon, but we've seen in this series, it hasn't been until the Rift Herald that we really get movement from either of these teams, and especially in this third game with the way that the early parts have planned out, I feel like that's going to be still the case.
Yeah, no one wants to like go crazy over committing for a dragon without any good reason. Do you see WeiWei like, okay, time to go and look at the enemy jungle, and he will find nothing. And now Chris,
shocker.
Chris, we'll just walk that one out. Was in tension and comfortable position, and you know, TT to get some vision down bot. The dragon's there. Scuttle's spawning soon, but Herald will be coming up in a couple of minutes. And my question is going to be how teams play around this. Will we get like the full roam up, the full contest? Because that's what we've seen so far this series. Is kind of the expectation.
So far, TP was utilized by Bin in the top lane there, so we'll need to see Hoya maybe go ahead and use that now. I see him backing. Okay, he just started the back, so that'll be utilized to catch back up in that aspect. Bot lane, still nothing to be said. I still highly expect there to be a lot of resources devoted either towards this mid lane or the bot lane for both these teams, because there's a huge snowball potential in that aspect. And for both these teams, the way the series has gone, feels like a snowball is it's going to be a comfortable way to a victory. Oh, I might have lost my co-caster, but as BLG take the dragon.
Here.
Oh, he's back. They're taking dragon.
I'm back.
Yeah. We'll see WeiWei at least get the early dragon. I think that's like maybe one of the earliest dragons we've gotten in the series, but at least it'll be early objective focus.
If they can take that and then re-ensure bot lane priority and make the swap up towards Herald, they can easily make that play. I feel like in this one, BLG want to be setting the pace once again. You know, as we talked about in that game too, you're up against a Jinx, you're up against Azir, you're up against the Sylas, who has a great selection of ults to steal. Kind of don't want to be taking this one late. Might become a little bit problematic. The range discrepancy, one of the major things with Azir and Jinx just being able to sit back at such a large distance. Now Hoya, this is going to be a common theme where Hoya just steals the Gnar ult
and just uses it to decimate Bin's health bar because, you know, the AP scaling had mentioned earlier. Bin does have Mega Gnar, but he's getting pressured pretty heavily. Beichuan is right
They
here.
might still try. They have kick.
They can, and there you go. Mega Gnar into the wall, though. That's huge flash from Bin, but it's not enough. They're going to get the kill. Hoya gets first blood for TT. Wait! What just happened? Bot lane, we're getting chaos. We have 2 members down for BLG as WeiWei has died as well in a failed gank.
Yeah, I mean, they managed
they got
to
Kepler.
They got Kepler, so it's a trade. But all in all, I think TT can be happy with that one. You 1 for 1 on the bot side of the map. The wall is used by Icon to get there. And you still get the kill on the top side. So we're going to replay. Hopefully get to see what happens bot. So they go for the dive. Jinx does have flash back up again. YaoYao does a good job of playing bodyguard. The triple pulverize, yeah, knocks Doggo away, so he has to ult in. And then Azir picks up the kill. A lot burned by the side of BLG. But Beichuan, that's not your team.
Yeah, I want to know how he got here. He's just dead. Okay, well, BLG even things up in terms of kills, and now they'll maybe even get a little cherry on top as they do the Rift Herald.
I can get it. You know, it gets confusing when you're
Here we
switching
go.
side constantly.
Multi-CC, the Chompers. Crisp needs to be very careful. Mega Death Rocket and Ucal slam dunks the kill. As now TT 3-2. There's still more fighting. This is the kind of LPL I was hoping we get. The fireworks are plenty here, but Hoya can't keep up with WeiWei. Ucal flashes, gets another kill for himself, and this is the hyphy play. Bin needs to try to get out. He doesn't have the angle. There's the knock up. The CC layered beautifully. Gnar back to stun. The wallop is not enough. A double kill for Ucal, and guess who is Shurima's Emperor and 4-0? It's the mid laner for TT.
Kind of seeing why Azir was banned against him in game 1. Beichuan, okay, yeah, a little bit out of position there, going for this solo. You know, teams do switch side in series, so maybe Beichuan thought he was on the red side, and these were teammates. But regardless, we see Crisp. You know, I gotta be critical of Crisp. I'm not positive about this player. Overstepping a fair bit. The combo into Chompers. Azir with the final damage to follow through. And Ucal just getting so fed off of this. And we see an extended trade as well. Bin nearly with Mega gives him confidence. Remember, Hoya steals the Trundle ultimate, so he is so tanky.
Yeah, he does so much work, and the Kingslayer healing so much. Ucal is just poking and prodding away, or Bin can't get out. Tries to get the beautiful combo, right? Gets even the whole combo on the wallop, but the tower doesn't do enough damage at that point.
Yeah, and I think at this point, 2k gold lead for TT. This is looking a little bit rough for BLG in this one.
You can tell the blood is pumping for these players, though. They're constantly looking now. We were getting reserve play early, but not anymore. CC layered again, and Chris is crisply fried. And guess who's joining him in the gray screen? It's WeiWei 2 times.
And again, Ucal just moving down, making the proactive movement. It was a lost play regardless of whether Ucal was there, but him being there ensures they get 2 kills instead of 1. Doggo can't step up to the wave, and this is going to be plates ahoy for Kepler on this Jinx. Definitely a fantastic situation to be in.
And what a game for Ucal to step up. This is feeling like game number 1, but in a different fashion, through mid lane, through this incredible Azir play that we've seen in the early parts of this game that can lead to that snowball we were talking about for TT. They are a skirmish-heavy team. They can force the hand of BLG.
Absolutely, and this is kind of reminiscent of game 1, right? Game 2, BLG struggled, but game 1, they were just crushed by TT. And in this one, Hoya, fishing for these opportunities, has the ultimate to look for something.
Gonna find anything just yet. Yeah, they're just playing. They're just having fun.
I mean, this is the thing: is Hoya has the ultimate on demand. Bin has to be Mega.
Rift Herald going to be used in mid lane by WeiWei. They'll try to get some plates at least. Trying to catch Ucal out as well. They'll transition this down towards the dragon, though, it looks like. And maybe to respond to Kepler down in bottom lane. One charge goes off, couple plates. BLG looking for the transitional catch out here against TT. Won't really find what they're looking for, though. Yeah,
and this is scary for BLG. They wanted to try and find a win in the contest, but like, who'd you pick? YaoYao has his ultimate to buy time. Beichuan is mobile. They're looking, but TP comes in from Hoya. He still has the Gnar ultimate, by the way.
Nice CC. Again, it's the layered CC that ends up with TT coming up on top. It's a dragon secured here. They'll start their stacking. They deny BLG's early objective focus.
Ocean Soul again?
Yeah,
they're timing the series, by the way.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
But yeah, they get another kill. I just love the fact that every time YaoYao goes for a combo, Kepler's traps are there. Like, it's like the communication's clearly there because he feels like he's throwing them basically immediately so that it's the pulverize into traps. And WeiWei and Crisp have been caught out by that consistently so far this game. Ucal's just able to hold top lane up against Bin. You know, we talked a bit about how Azir really comfortable there, but Mythic's starting to come in for the side of TT, and they have already got such a massive lead.
Everything is perfectly fine in the Thunderstorm for TT right now. We'll see at least a Mythic item completed now for BLG in terms of Doggo's Kraken Slayer. You see now with the TT advantage that they have, 4,000 gold just about. They're pressing up their vision. They're starting to stranglehold BLG's resources.
And we saw, I think the main takeaway from game 1, if you didn't catch it, was that TT got a lead and they just continued to push the pace of the game, setting up for Barons very effectively. finding opportunities to lean into towers, and BLG just didn't have a good response. So if TT can maintain that sort of pressure, go in a similar direction, it looks very rough for the side of BLG. And you can see now, leaning down towards his bot lane, looking to get some damage on this tower and perhaps just take the whole thing. There's no real response from BLG right now. They're looking up towards top lane, but already you can see Ucal moving over to try and defend Hoya. I don't think they can dive this top lane, and they're losing this bot lane tower with no real contest.
Yeah, both teams were looking for the inverse dives. The dive doesn't get completed for either team, but the pressure is enough to get TT the first tower of the game. Even more gold, and it goes into Kepler's pockets. Now they can reset and come contest for the Rift Herald that's spawning in 25 seconds. You see Beichuan is already on his way. Gnar ulti is secured by Hoya.
Yeah, and one of the things, you know, I've mentioned it already in this series, is the fact that the Gnar ultimate has a 100% AP ratio. You know, Gnar ult does like an extra 50% damage if you hit them into a wall, right? So if you hit targets into a wall, it technically has a 150% AP ratio. That's a lot.
That's a those numbers are big. Mason, what do they mean? They're huge.
Yeah, they're pretty big. So Hoya, like, this is kind of why we've seen before, and in this game, the Sylas into Gnar, if Hoya gets a big Gnar ult, he will just obliterate BLG. Like, to such a crazy degree. The damage will be absurd as we get later in the game. And you can see here, like, look at that.
Yep, there you go. It's a little bit of damage, and Ben has the flash. It's a 5-minute cooldown. We'll be looking to revisit in just a bit, but it's also, at the same time, TT getting the Rift Herald. That means they're going to have time to reset, get the dragon in 2 minutes, and BLG are just falling behind the pace of the game.
Yep, they are looking to try and get this air tower bot, and they do have objective bounties at least, but Ucal is actually caught out.
He is. Big mega death rocket comes through, though. Tower still goes down. So the bounty secured. Ucal has to get away, but BLG at least gets something to write home about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent pickup for BLG. You'll take it in this situation when you're really struggling to find anything. But still not good. Still not exactly good, I'll be honest. And top lane tower, Hoya not staying for the local gold. But this will go down. Question mark pings coming out. And yeah, so not sure about that one. And also Hoya going Leandries as well on the Sylas. A bit of a weird one. So for anyone who doesn't know this, you can only apply one Leandries burn. So if Ucal and Hoya both hit a target, it's not like you get double burn, you get one burn. So they kind of like, they don't cancel each other out, but like you don't get the stacking, right? And so as a result, you typically never want to have two Leandries on the team. So I'm kind of curious as to Hoya deciding to pick up Leandries here. Yeah, I guess maybe he wants it for the side laning against Bin, but still, I don't know. I feel like there's other options you could have gone for here. I feel like if you really want ability haste, I mean, I don't think Riftmake is good, but at least you could go into that. But yeah, double Leandries, not play. Regardless, Hoya is fishing for opportunities here.
Got the depth charge available. Weaver's Wall comes away just to try to block off the Rift Herald for a little bit longer here. A big point for me is Kepler's a full item over Doggo. I guess an item minus a couple components. So I think this is obviously waiting for 3 items for the Jinx, but this is a nice little bit of strength they can use. They get a charge off on the mid lane. A little bit of damage there, but not exactly enough to take it down. But that means that they can set up for this dragon in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and TT should just have complete control over this. We do see Hoya could be in trouble here.
He's taking him out pretty heavily, but yeah, Hoya is now in a 1v2, and it's not a 1v2 that he wins. Finn comes out with a kill.
Yeah, no reason to overstep like that as Hoya. You know your team are making a play towards the bot side, so the response should be you just kind of chill it out. Play it slow, let your team do their thing, and don't go crazy.
YaoYao is caught out. That's a lot of terrain to be dealt with when BLG find the setups with the Trundle and the Taliyah there. It's a nice little bit of a combo, but it will be a second dragon secure for TT as Beichuan hits level 11. And it will just be a continuation of the scaling and the farming here, as objectives have literally been the fight bell, at least in this series so far.
But look like the jungle difference as well. Beichuan 2 levels up on WeiWei, significantly far ahead. And we see in this situation, so first off, Hoya doesn't have the Gnar ultimate, which, you know, Nautilus ultimate, I don't feel like is doing as much here. Not as much damage for sure. And then also, fact that Icon turns up, just Hoya tries to get away, but is caught out by that Mega Gnar ultimate. Remember, Execution is picked up for Bin, so already has a little bit of Grievous Wounds to apply and reduce that healing.
She seeds in mid lane though. Now as TT try to get this last outer tower, or at least in the mid lane tower. And Hoya playing in the side lane here needs to be a bit careful because BLG are on their way there. And does back off. I saw him stepping up a little bit. Oh, you can farm that way. That'll be a little scary. But again, it's a little bit of a waiting game at this point, looking to set up for TT. But that's also the thing is, like, we've wanted to see the setups for TT. We've seen them be playing aggressively this entire game so far, and they don't want it to come back and bite them, right? Like, you've got to realize when to temper it to some extent.
The problem is, like, I don't know. I feel like BLG, I don't know. I feel like if they play it slow, if they try and wait for the window again, as we saw in game one, I don't think it comes. I'm going to be real.
Not even with the 4-0, Ucal. Oh, Beichuan.
Oh.
Has to flash. Big cooldown for the Lee Sin.
No, I mean, TT can play it slow. Yeah, they can play any pace they can. I think BLG are the ones who can't play it slow at all if they do like they did in game one.
Might be looking for a fight here. Subjugation is stolen by Hoya, so the Sylas will be pretty tanky. Weaver's Wall comes in. Beichuan can't connect on the resonance there. Kepler is going to take a bit of damage there on the back end of it. Flash from Icon. They try to catch Beichuan, but they don't get it. Icon, having burned his flash, is now out. Mega Death Rocket goes way wide there to that extent. Hoya gets engaged on by Crisp. Killer Instinct comes in from Doggo, but look at WeiWei and Icon. They're pressed off. Hoya goes down to Kepler. Kepler is taking 2 kills while Doggo only got the 1. And now Ucal misses the Shurima Shuffle there, but it's still a double kill for the excited Jinx. And TT strong, 4 members coming up big.
They can go on Baron. They have so much DPS for this. I mean, BLG, they kill Hoya, but it's like, you just don't even focus on the carries. Now, Beichuan's going to try and get some honey through because he is low. Obviously, Lee Sin does have a lot of sustain, but this could be tentative.
Doggo is a little bit late to get here. He's trying to push up the mid lane. The Baron is going to go down here as the smite comes through. Now, Ucal's looking for Crisp. Crisp heading the wrong way, heading to the hills that have eyes in them. And they're a little bit scary. Oh, we went to Icon. But Crisp is going to be a long, drawn-out fight here, but Ucal will take him
There's a
down.
turret there still, by the way, Crisp.
Yeah, gotta be careful. He's playing Spider-Man. He's playing. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
But this is so rough because not only do they get the Baron, but Crisp dies very late. It's kind of one of those situations where, like, they want to contest, but they don't contest, and they just end up being exit kills. Especially is the fact Ucal has the Rylai's. We'll see the replay here. And if you're like me, you were probably really focused on Hoya in this fight on the top side and kind of what was going down with him because he dashes in quite aggressively and he gets turned onto. The problem is Crisp goes for Hoya, whereas on the backside, Kepler and Ucal are just unchecked. And this is the range discrepancy I was talking about in the draft. What can they do when Jinx has rockets, stack lethal tempo, boom, 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 Ucal there with the Rylai's as well, slowing people down? It's just so hard for BLG to deal with from this point.
It truly is. 5-0 and 3. Ucal is stepping up in this moment, but as well as Kepler, the double carries at this point, right? Kepler coming in for Puff, who is going through medical treatment, right? He is okay, but he needs somebody to step in for him in this moment. And TT might just find themselves another series win on the season because of this guy, because of the combo that's coming out from the carries of TT right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed with YaoYao and Kepler. Particularly just the playing with the Jinx, having the traps instantly come in after the CC initially from YaoYao. We see BLG trying to defend. They will have been just clearing the top lane. They have a decent amount of wave clear with that Taliyah. And Mycon's looking for Hoya. Hoya ults the Banshees.
There.
Yeah, not sure what Hoya was doing there. He like ulted the Banshees, so kind of questionable because that does put your Sylas ult on cooldown. But regardless, doesn't end up going down. TT now have Dragon to pick up. They do lose a fair bit in the top side. So that gold, you know, the Baron gold power play isn't actually going to be that high after this tier 2 gets taken.
Will be soul point, though, for TT as they lose their tier 2 tower in top lane. Got a little bit of response coming out in Hoya and YaoYao coming top side, but it's just a bit late, and Ben will be able to get out of that one.
Okay. Wait, Mazel.
What's up?
I've seen a funky build. Oh, we need to talk about.
It was so close. Sorry. Okay, what?
I've seen a funky build. You spot it yet?
Chempunk?
Chempunk on Kaisa.
2 of them. I mean,
Well,
I know
no, okay,
the bin isn't that bad. It isn't bad,
Yeah, so
right?
it's pretty standard for bruisers now to build Chempunk Chainsword. It gives 25 ability haste, 55 AD. It's a really strong bruiser item. It's a stat stick. Ever since Grievous got nerfed, they buffed all the items. And Chempunk Chainsword is 125% gold efficient. I do find it weird for Doggo, though.
So
I haven't seen this build before, I'll be honest. But let's break it down. Okay, yeah, okay. It gives a lot of raw AD, gives a lot of ability haste, and it's cheap. You could have gone something like a Phantom Dancer instead, which gives more attack speed. But maybe the theory is you're not going to be auto-attacking that much. You're just going to be diving in and pressing Q. I don't know. But it does mean, like, if you think about how far behind he is compared to Kepler, at least you got to pick up a cheap item, I guess is maybe the theory.
Ooh, the backstop rocket onto Icon. Oh, it's not there in time. Okay, so they'll get the defense, but they're losing. They're in hip tower. Weaver's wall comes through. Cancel a little bit early so Icon doesn't give himself to the doom that would have been that fight. And it's a nice defense just in time for BLG, and they're picking apart the side lanes of TT.
Yeah, and at this point, they could just turn back over to their side of the map, reset, play for what they want. Baron up in 2 minutes, Dragon up in 3 minutes, a would-be soul. Really easy to play towards those. And, you know, as much as like I can understand the quick item spike for Doggo on the Chempunk Chainsword, it is going to delay like your crit items quite significantly. If he is going to go towards something like a Phantom Dancer, then it's going to be like IEs later. Lord Dominic's is going to be super late when there's already like 2 Zhonyas on the enemy team. And obviously, Lee Sin is... Well, I guess Lee Sin's got a lot of magic resist. Not really much armor, but still. It's looking rough. It's looking rough, Mazel. 4,500 gold lead at this point. And I don't think TT show any signs of slowing down, really.
Except for, you know, right now while we're waiting on objectives to spawn. Because that's all we fight about. I mean, I know TT have looked for a few things.
Don't question me, Mazel. Okay.
I'm not questioning you. I just think it's funny how religiously they are just fighting over these objectives constantly. And I know we've given some up, especially last game. But this one right now, there's no giving up any objectives anymore, it feels like, for BLG. They will need to find responses where they can.
I just think it's literally going to be either the Baron fight or the Dragon fight, and that's like all or nothing. But I really struggle to see them finding a route in. Like, you know, there's sometimes like there's other games like that game 1. I said even though they're behind, I can see it. I can see how the fight can work. I ain't seeing it right now, especially since there's
yeah, you gotta clean those glasses, man. Come on, you can't see it. It's a little bit far in the distance.
Double Zhonyas and double stopwatch right now.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
Yeah, good luck. By the way, also all summoners available for TT, all those flashes. So yeah, nice try, I guess. We'll see what they can do. You know, maybe Kepler has a stopwatch on the wrong button. Yeah, that's the hope.
There you go. Hey, they also have all their flashes, be able to make some flashy plays here. Speaking of, Crisp goes in for the engage. Depth charge utilized on Kepler, but now it's a reset positioning from TT. Engage tool used from Crisp. And it feels like TT have all the advantage now. They can force a fight over Baron. Oh, maybe Beichuan gets caught out. Knockback, nicely stunned onto YaoYao. Big pillar on the side here. You still have to watch out for the carries. It's all about Ucal. It's all about Kepler, and they're still 100% HP.
Yeah, I know. That engage from Crisp, he got the enemy Jinx's flash. Yes, he burns his own, but the enemy Jinx's flash is significantly more important. His ult will be back up for the Dragon fight, so that is the sort of positive play you want to do. Again, I talk about it. When all the Sunmers up are on a team who are ahead, who have this defensive long-range front to back, it's so hard to fight. If Jinx and Azir both have flash, it's incredibly difficult. I'm not saying it's suddenly easy. It's still rock hard for BLG, but they make a positive play. We see the turn engage from YaoYao that doesn't result in anything but burning his flash, so it's not much, but at least BLG have found a little advantage leading up this Dragon. It's 25 seconds though till the Ocean. Ucal's gonna slam a tower down mid. He already has that prio, and BLG have to try and find a way to contest.
Might try to find WeiWei here as well, but they won't do so. They'll just try to get positioning around this pit. Level 16 is completed for Icon here, as they'll try to move in. But again, the positioning a little bit sus here. Bin trying to build up the Mega Gnar bar. Weaver's wall comes through to separate. They're trying to catch up Beichuan, but Crisp is the one getting caught out first. Who's going to die first? Crisp. Is he going to go down? Beichuan goes down first, quickly followed by Crisp. Here comes Doggo, though. Stolen is the killer instinct from Hoya. They got to get a stun. There you go. Hoya's in the back.
Slick.
They've got so much damage here. Kepler's got front to back. Emperor's Divide comes through. Icon blast away from it. Hoya gets the kill, or doesn't. It's a double. for Kepler, who is continually getting excited. This is Soul, and at this point, it's just the game, Aux.
Yeah, I mean, BLG kill Beichuan, but we kind of got the movie death for Bin where he dies off screen. And then we see Crisp also going down, and it's kind of just downhill from there. Hoya is really slick with the Killer Instinct in and then repositioning to find Icon. But they just clean up the fight easy as anything. They're going to secure the Baron. No smite does not matter. They have the Ocean Soul. They have the Baron. And BLG's hopes are looking absolutely shattered on the back of this one.
The Soul is going to help, the Baron's going to help, and the Siege is going to help at this point for TT. And really just on the precipice again of this second series win of the season. You talked about so much at the end of the day. It is, you know, best of round one, or one round robin rather, where you only face each team once. This will be a huge pickup for TT and a huge
single round robin
desperation situation for BLG going down to TT.
Yeah, I mean, dropping a series to TT as a team like BLG does not bode well for your chances in the split. And there's that slick Hoya ulting to WeiWei to reposition Igon. Very nicely played. I just think it's nice when, like, as much as I said the Gnarl is the best, he knows the versatility. Like, if he wants to be tanky, he goes for WeiWeis. If he wants to dive in, he can go for Doggos. The rotations, Icon's ultimate, has that choice and uses them. And now,
oh my god,
Doggo. Oh no, he's caught. He's caught.
Yeah, he is. The stun perfect for YaoYao, and now the rest of TT trying to catch Bit. Bit gets over the wall. Nice little slick move there, but gets connected on by Beichuan. Tries to use the Mega Gnar ult to get away. Does buy some time. Nice little move. Nice little moves. Let's use the wall up there. The jump. Look at him. He's got the schmoves here. I don't know if Beichuan could catch this one, and Bin might just be walking out. Beichuan doesn't want to let it go. Nice little boomerang.
Just let him go.
Let the yakety sax play. Oh, he turned back. Okay. He thought he had the big brain play, and yet it was the big leg to the face.
Yeah, and now they don't have Bin for 40 seconds. Baron pushing in. The good news is that at least Hoya can't steal Bin's ultimate. The bad news is he'll just steal Crisp's instead.
Yep, and now they have another form of engage on top of YaoYao's perfect headbutt pulverizes so far. Besides the time he got stunned up before the fight. That's not on him. And it's another tower that goes down. TT still using Kepler's excitedness to continue sieging down. Weaver's wall comes through. Hoya caught on the other side. Does not get the engage there. Depth charge still available. Hoya goes golden, so he doesn't get seismically shoved. And it's mid lane pressure now for TT. They want to try to finish and break out these inhibs.
Yeah, I mean, mid's going to be gone in a second. Bin has respawned, and you even see Hoya burn the Nautilus ultimate, so he'll be ready pretty soon to steal away Bin's ult once more. They're going to push on this bot lane tier 3, sorry, and there's nothing that BLG can do here.
Kepler playing pretty aggressive here as well when he gets those excited procs, just trying to look for the chip damage that they can get. But now they got more Marin minions on to the base. TP out to top lane for Ucal means that it's an uneven fight. Ucal's pushing side lane, but here comes the engage for BLG. They're trying to catch them out. Kepler, that's a huge Mega Gnar stun into the wall by Bin, and they're picking them apart at this point. You can see it's a bit of a base race. BLG can't burn them down fast enough. Look at Kepler. Is he going to be able to pull this off? He's about to go down. His GA will be popped, and it's still low health bar for BLG. They cake down Kepler. They lose their third inhib, and that's double super minions, and that's worth for TT.
Oh, what did I just watch? Like, what? How is that necessary in any world, in any universe? Like, sure, they get the triple inhibs, but it's 2 minutes until the objectives. Like, you just gave over a ton of gold. Yeah, this cannot be the correct play. Like, Ucal just TPing out, and they let him go because they're like, cool, we'll take a 5v4. Like, TT is so strong, and there's no way they should even be close to losing a fight. But because their Azir just decides to piece it, then yeah, I mean, of course BLG are going to be able to clean this up. I'm mind blown, Mazel. I'm mind blown. I just don't. This is kind of similar to the series against LNG, where Ucal just like destined in to die. I have similar feelings. It's not as visceral, but man, get a clue.
He was trying to set Kepler up for the big play, right? Kepler's really close to getting a crazy outplay there. That's definitely that's what I'm thinking in my head. But it is a bit of a slip up, a bit of a fumble for TT right at the end. Now they do have double super minions spawning in every lane for or against BLG, and it means they just have all the pressure in the world. Look at this. They're just getting the double pincer here. Mega Gnar into the wall. They're just taking down Ben. Mega Gnar's right back. Kick to
Goodbye, Ben.
back into the back into the team here. Wait, what?
Icon.
What is going on? The Emperor's Divide. This is tragedy for BLG. Not like this, they say. Not like this. But TT say yes like this, and yes to a second series win in the LPL Summer Split. So many analysts, so many people counted this team out, and here we are. We're right into the clump, right into the thick of things as TT finish off Bilibili.
I'm done, dude. Like, what? Icon, TP,
TT hashtag got him.
Oh, my... I don't know, man. It just feels like we can't have a TT series without some shenanigans going on. Credit to them. They were by far the better team today. The game 2 that BLG won was a fight, whereas it felt like game 1 completely controlled by TT. And other than that flub with Ucal teleporting top, game 3 felt pretty convincing as well. But BLG...
That's disappointment. It's absolute disappointment to lose a series like this.
If you're losing to TT, a team who are 1-4 going into this series, things do not bode well for you picking up the points to go to playoffs. That is all I'm going to say on that subject. We thought Icon would revitalize this roster. Clearly hasn't worked. And yeah, they just look rough. I think that's the only way I can present it. They really look rough. And bear in mind, this is a team who made playoffs, got through the first round last split, and I feel like if they play like this, they aren't making playoffs. I'm flat gonna say this team is not making playoffs if they continue in this direction.
It's little mistakes. It's little personal mistakes from each player. It feels like little slip ups, little catch outs that just add up.
I respect you, Mazel. You try and say little mistakes. That TP from Icon was not a little mistake.
I mean,
that was
yeah. All right. Maybe that one's a little bit out of left, but I just think that it's such a tragic way to lose because in both game losses in this series, it was not fun. I will admit the third game a lot better than the first game in terms of responsiveness, in terms of being present on the Rift. But again, it's those little slip-ups, those little catch-outs, and just all in all, the snowball continuously building for TT.
Yeah, and I think it's a positive for TT, right? I think they've had some mixed results. They completely annihilated WE, which is nice, but then like the LNG series was sloppy for both sides. They honestly could have won the LNG series. They didn't completely run it. And they've had some trickier series, like 2-0 by JDG. That's rough, you know. I don't really expect them to win that one. 2-0 by EDG again. But I think like the fact that they're picking up a win here against BLG, they faced some of the harder teams so far. I think TT, you know, they've also, like, bear in mind, TT have faced V5, TT have faced JDG, and TT have faced EDG so far. You know, their scoreline is currently going to be 2-4, and they faced 3 of the top teams. Things aren't looking so bad for TT, all in all. And you can look at the goal graph. Yes, they made that big int when Ucal teleported top. You can see where it is, Mazel. You can see it. I can see it. But it wasn't enough. You know, they outscaled. They ended up bringing it back in the final fight. Icon decided to do the TP to dab on them in the end, which, and then, yeah,
for
TT
me,
claimed the victory.
It's the little things as well that added up for TT. Like, even at the end there, the can that we get to see of them, getting to see Ucal giving so much love to Hoya there, and just realizing, you know, Hoya trying to find his own right and went up against